Right off the bat, spoilers for Spider-Man 2, all the villains, all the storylines. Since we are going to be discussing potential villains in the upcoming game, I'm obviously going to spoil shit that happens in the second one.
Now, for the first two villains I think are going to show up, it's obviously going to be Green Goblin as Norman Osborn and Doc Ock returning as Otto Octavius. We see this because, one, we see Norman Osborn say in the final cutscene, get the G formula ready, aka get the Green Goblin formula ready. And two, we see in the post-credit scene, Norman Osborn takes a trip to the Rav to visit none other than Otto Octavius.
Now, as for what these villains exactly are going to do, it's still up for debate. Some people think Otto Octavius in his memoir is writing the Superior Spider-Man storyline, which is basically the storyline where Otto Octavius takes over Peter Parker's body and becomes the quote-unquote superior Spider-Man, trying to prove that he is superior slash better than Peter Parker ever could be. Now, there's a number of reasons why they're probably not going to do this. One, we just got done with the evil Peter Parker storyline, and it was fun, but I don't think they're going to rehash it this soon. Also, Insomniac did say in Spider-Man 1, the reason they didn't add the black suit was because they wanted to do their own storyline of it, and the superior Spider-Man outfit was in this game, meaning if we use the same logic, they wouldn't want to use the suit that they have for our upcoming storyline. So that automatically takes out Peter Parker. Now, some other people thought they were going to do this storyline with Miles Morales because in the alternate universe, it was Miles Morales instead of Peter Parker. And that would also be kind of true, but they kind of did use the suit in Life Story. So it's just like, it's a possibility, but I still think an evil Spider Man, it already has been done. Let's give it a break.
Third on our list, I have Cletus Cassidy, aka The Flame, aka The Cultist, or aka Carnage himself. Now, he's definitely going to be in the third game. A lot of people think he's going to be DLC, but I feel like the symbiote storyline is so detailed, so deep, and they even hinted at Null to the point where it'd be kind of redundant to just only use him for DLC. I think you could build something with him in the main game, or even as at least a main side quest, similar to how The Flame was a main side quest and not just like a side gig. Um, Definitely Cletus Cassidy is going to show up. I mean, he's so twisted and demented and so unforgivable, and Spider-Man's whole deal is trying to forgive villains now and see them reform. But you have this twisted fuck who's literally burning Spider-Man alive the first time they actually fight. So it's just like, is Spider-Man going to actually forgive him? Is he going to use forgiveness? What's going to happen? There's so much potential in challenging Peter's morals and pushing him to his absolute fucking limit. So we'll see where they go. Now, just outside the big three that everybody wants to see, we have Chameleon. Now, Chameleon is very interesting. It can go one of two ways. It could go either really good or really fucking bad. Now, Chameleon, he's known to disguise himself as different villains, but most importantly in this game, he's also Kraven's blood brother. Yes, that means in the side quest where we see Kraven just murk his whole family, Chameleon actually survived that somehow. And he might be out for revenge, question mark. Now, Sandman could go a few ways with this. They could just go the generic bad guy route, like, oh, I want to hurt Spider-Man, yada yada yada, which I feel like is the most boring way to go about it. I think they could just go the route of, hey, I want to avenge my brother, or hey, I want to prove that I'm a better hunter than my brother by killing what he couldn't. Or I feel like anything in the regards of avenging Kraven in some weird, twisted, demented, Kraven-off family type of way would be perfect for Chameleon, because I mean he is related to Kraven. He is related to this twisted fuck that killed his whole family. And we probably get insight on him because we barely got any insight on Kraven in this game. I mean, we did kind of with sneaking into his mansion and shit, but honestly, they could have done so much more, and I feel like he was so underused for such a good character with such little screen time. Like, he stole the show. So yeah, that's my fourth villain I have. Now for my fifth villain. This is going to be a little controversial because all this currently is speculative, but I do think the next villain will be Hobie Brown's Prowler. Now a lot of people might be confused on that, but I do think, just listen. So every game since Miles has become Spider-Man, which is only two, there's always been a storyline where Aaron Davis comes in and Miles doubts that he's a good guy. We had it with one where we finally meet Aaron Davis properly. We have it with two, this whole storyline where he thought Aaron Davis came out of retirement just to go right back into it as a Prowler. And we could have this one with three with this stupid trend where there's a sighting of Prowler activity. Miles calls his uncle and is like, hey, what the fuck? I thought you retired. He's gonna be like, yeah. Whole time it's Hobie Brown under the mask, and you could just say he found some tech because apparently every villain in New York City in this fucking universe has spare tech lying around under Central Park or some dumb shit. And you could just say during the symbiote invasion, Hobie was running away and he found some tech, and now he's using it for his own aid. So yeah, there's Hobie Brown. Honestly, you could do a decent storyline with Jefferson stepping in at the last moment when he's about to like beat Miles, or Miles is about to beat him, and be like, hey, you don't have to go down this route. I already been down this route. You know, there's bad things, blah blah blah. And he could be like the mentor for Hobie, which is different. That's different. I'm making it very generic and stuff like that. But depending on how they execute it, it could be really good actually. Also, obviously, before I get into my sixth choice, to round out, I guess, the quote unquote Sinister Six, you're gonna obviously have the legacy villains, like the multiple Scorpions, the multiple Shockers. Like, I'm not sure if there's more. Yes, there is another. There's a female Electro, so I guess the female Electro, I forgot her name, honestly, I'll keep it a buck. But you obviously have the legacy villains, which they're probably going to use, I'm not gonna lie. So I don't know which one they would. I'm not really too into the legacy villains, I'll be honest. So whatever makes sense, I guess you could do like legacy Electro, legacy Scorpion, legacy Shocker. I forgot the legacy names for them, but yeah. And now for the last villain on my list, I have Kingpin. Now, Kingpin, honestly, it just makes sense. I mean, we started the franchise with taking him down, and Miles Morales, we have a whole meeting with him where he thinks he's meeting with some super secret people, and he is just him. You could say he gets back in the city because when Norman Osborn breaks Otto out of jail, Kingpin obviously gets up because he's the fucking kingpin of crime. And yeah, just take it from there. He main storyline quest for Peter, or maybe both of them, because he does seem to have ties with both of them, because he obviously you beat him as Peter Parker, and in Miles Morales you meet him through FaceTime. So there's storylines for each of them you could go through. So yeah, I definitely think Kingpin is gonna be, since this is the final saga. It's only fitting that we take down Kingpin, who we started this saga with. And yeah, I mean, I think Rhino's also alive, so he might show up as well. But that's really it in terms of the villains I think are going to appear. I try to be as realistic as possible. Of course, I'm gonna miss some villains, but I think most of these will be in the game. I think Kingpin for sure is a sleeper that not enough people are talking about. He's definitely going to be in it. I think people forgot about that cutscene in Miles Morales where he talked to Miles. But yeah, that's really my predictions for the game. Let me know what you guys think. If I miss anybody, comment below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.